cat weighs 690 grams. No, 1,690 grams.
How much is that?
What's a gram?
Well, in relation to pounds.
Cracker?
I don't want to make
kind
it
of
sound
sweet.
stupid, but what are grams in relations to pounds?
A kilogram is a little more than, it's like 2.5 pounds, I think.
Okay.
So that's 2,500
pounds.
Grams. No!
What happened? Oh, somebody wrecked on
My dude just wrecked for no reason. Because the camera was on him.
What are we watching? Oh,
This is
Wait,
the,
but
this
for
is
real,
the
how much do you
450
think
main.
the cat weighs? If
I don't know,
Anita
Oh, hey, we're recording. Wow, it's not like we had to delete everything and try again. Welcome to the basement.
Hey.
Where we're clearly in my basement.
But wait a second. We're not in the basement.
No, we're not.
We're in the Steinberg estate. I liked it so much the first time I said it that I wanted to say it again.
Well, it's great, because you didn't have to say that or else they wouldn't have known.
Oh, they're going to know. We fucked up, and this is the second time we're doing this show. And by we, I mean you.
Yep, I tried to change the levels, and I butchered the thing. Turns out the level thing just... You know what? Hey, welcome to the basement. Wherever I go, it's my basement. So, we're taking it on tour, and since I was in Kennesaw, Georgia, filming a new short film, I decided to hang out with Britt. Now we're doing the show at Britt's house.
And apparently I'm chopped liver.
Oh, and Cailey's here. Sorry.
Cailey's
So,
chopped
it's
liver.
fine.
It's okay. It's Britt's house because I know him, and home is where the heart is, and my heart is Britt.
Ooh, he loves me
Well,
more
since
than
you have another heart, you can go ahead and live with Matthew.
Bro, Matthew's got a nice ass basement.
I mean-
if I had to live somewhere, I would like somewhere else. Matthew's basement.
If I had to live somewhere else,
Matthew's
like
basement
let's be
would not
honest,
be
if
a
I
bad
had to live
choice.
somewhere, I'd pick somewhere by myself. But if I had to live with somebody else in somebody's basement,
Yeah.
I'd probably take mine.
Nothing wrong with Rocco's basement. I don't know. Kale's basement is probably pretty ballin' too. I
Yeah.
haven't been there in a while.
I feel like it's cold.
And I also feel like it's not as big as your basement. And they don't have a stove down there, do they?
Oh no, they don't have a stove.
Yeah, you've got a stove.
Yeah, you don't want to go to Kale's basement.
Your basement is basically its own house.
And you'll never find. And the one thing they don't have a good show. They don't have an award-winning podcast.
That's true. I've never
True.
heard about Kale's basement on the YouTube Awards
The
show.
social medias.
Well, you never heard about ours either, but
Well, I was
okay.
What
that
are the
was.
YouTube awards called?
the Yubtubs.
Streamies.
Are there actually YouTube Awards?
Yeah, they're
I
called
don't think
they're
they're
called the
YouTube
Streamies.
awards. Well,
The
is that YouTube? Is that specifically YouTube?
It's YouTube. I mean, what else is there? Like, who else is gonna win? Vine?
But I was gonna say, you don't think someone's Vimeo account's gonna get
Yeah.
nominated for the Streamies?
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
no, it's usually just YouTubers.
Okay.
Oh, actually, it could just be.
I meant does
strictly-
YouTube
I think
own
it's
the
strictly-
Streamies, though?
I think it's strictly YouTube.
Okay.
I mean,
so
I'll never
that's-
go, so I don't know.
It was actually like a physical awards show.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
they like stream it on YouTube.
How do you, like, who gets nominated? Because I thought YouTube videos that were popular just like
Yeah, I don't know.
oh look, this panda sneezed.
It's like a commissioner of that kind of
That's
stuff.
a great video, by the way.
The panda
Panda
sneeze.
sneezing?
Sneezing panda. Oh god.
You want to talk about great viral videos? The best one of all time is still the dramatic chipmunk or the dramatic gopher.
That probably is in the Hall of Fame.
That should be the go right there.
Oh my god, where would a YouTube Hall of Fame?
YouTube Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
See, it's hard for me to say because I really don't like a lot of the things that other people like. Like, I can't stand anyone who is a video blogger. Any of them. Anyone who's a famous YouTuber, I can't stand.
Britt doesn't like anything that the mainstream likes.
Okay, I mean
Because Britt's a fucking hipster.
that is a different point for a different conversation. In all seriousness, though, I can't stand like PewDiePie and that guy who looks like.
Well, yeah, PewDiePie's pretty divisive.
And PewDiePie, who recently lost everything because apparently he made anti-Semitic remarks and said the N-word.
Well, I don't know what he did, but I remember reading that he just said, like, Hitler did nothing wrong.
But I feel
Isn't he Swedish?
Yeah, he also has, he has, 40 million followers, so it's probably not the thing to,
I
teach
don't
him the
know.
youth.
I mean, YouTube dropped him from their preferred producers
And he has the most
He lost
subscribers
sponsorship.
on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
PewDiePie?
No, he doesn't have the. I don't know if he has
Yes,
the most.
he has the most.
I know he makes the most money of anyone in YouTube.
Yeah, he has the most
he have the most
subscribers. I think he has
subscribers?
the most subscribers.
No, yeah.
of
I
anyone
honestly
on
don't
YouTube.
understand. That he's the most annoying. Like, how does anyone watch any of those videos?
Well,
I guess
everyone
'cause
like
for
him.
clickbait culture, everybody has it.
But
I'm
didn't
sure.
you get into him when you were like little?
Well, Evan, I always just thought he was
How long
loud
has he
and
been around?
obnoxious and funny.
Yeah, I think he's loud
Well,
and
he
obnoxious.
he started probably with like video game commentary stuff, right?
I would imagine
Let's
it's at
Play stuff?
least. Evan started watching him when I was 14, so at least that long.
Yeah.
What is that? 7 years.
And it's usually the consensus, Britt, that most YouTubers don't like him.
Well, okay,
That's like the major.
but regardless of PewDiePie or not, I don't like anyone who's a video blogger. None of them. But that being said, I don't even know where we were going with this.
It takes a lot of. Well, we're talking about the
Streamies.
I almost called it Vimeoes, but I don't think anybody would watch that. No, the streamies.
I
We're
didn't
talking
know
about.
Vimeo is.
Yeah, no, vlogging. I could never be a vlogger because that's just too much effort to try to make my life more interesting.
Well, I don't like them because I think vlogging could work. I just don't like
It's one person podcast.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's really good vloggers. I've watched a few. I don't know the names, but I've watched a few good filmmakers who've turned vlogging and made a career out of it. But my life is clearly not interesting enough to make a vlog about it and hold a camera to my face in public every day. It's just.
No, I have no problem with vlogging. I have a
weird.
problem with the people that do it because it's always make sure you like and subscribe, get this, they're just not funny. But I think it's because it's catered to people younger than me, like younger enough that it's a different audience. But that being said, the streamies, if it's not just viral videos, which sometimes I get into viral videos, some of them I don't understand. Like I never thought the double rainbow was that funny and stuff like that.
Again, he doesn't like anything anyone else likes.
But double rainbow wasn't that funny.
Yeah, I didn't like the double rainbow either.
No.
What's a viral video that I actually liked, Matthew?
Probably everyone liked the girl in the Chewbacca mask. Remember that girl?
I did find that very funny.
I don't remember that. What happened?
It was the girl put on a Chewbacca mask.
And she thought it was so
kept
funny
laughing.
that she's just cackling.
And the
I don't
laughter
like it
was
because
just
she looks
infectious.
stupid though. I just like, if you've seen like the whole video, it's so sweet. She got really excited because she loves Star Wars and she goes in and she finds this Chewbacca mask and she's talking about how she's not going to let her kids use it. And she's just so delighted to see it. It's so genuine. It's so joyful.
Well, that video goes off the rails because it's a mask and you use your jaw to make the Chewbacca noise. So the first time she hears it, she laughs. So then she keeps laughing and it just keeps going. But come on, it's a great video.
I haven't seen it. That sounds funny though.
Yeah. It's classic. Nah, I think they do. They probably do best video, but I know they do like channel of the year or some gaming channel of the year, like smash that like button of the year.
Yeah. What's my favorite channel? Probably NASCAR Nixon. That's the best channel on YouTube.
Yeah, even for racing, his channel kind of sucks. But
Or honestly, like the official pages for a lot of I got distracted. I'm spitting at the cat.
Yeah,
the dog.
Cailey,
like a cat to you?
With the dog?
The NASCAR official channel posts full races in HD and stuff. That's pretty cool of them.
Yeah, you wouldn't see that like from other sports.
Yeah.
What was it saying?
Not a lot of other sports are starving for viewership as much as NASCAR is, but that's neither here nor there.
That doesn't matter. Yeah, I watch. I've always been with Rooster Teeth. I always like their stuff. They do a lot of really cool filmmaking stuff.
Rooster Teeth.
I've
heard of this.
Didn't they start
Who
with?
did that?
They started with Red versus Blue.
Games?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they pretty
that.
much started like video gaming.
That's
on YouTube.
old though.
Yeah.
That is like 7 years old. Longer than that.
That was before. Well, that's before YouTube. They made that before YouTube. You had to download the videos online.
Oh yeah,
on like streaming on services.
I forgot. I saw something the other day that talked about how old YouTube was, and it was not nearly as old as I thought it was.
I think it's only like 10 years old.
Yeah, they just had their 10th anniversary, I think.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I remember being on YouTube when I was 13 or 14 watching stupid videos and stuff, but that means it was only a year or two old at that point.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
The dog's eyes are rolled back in his head like.
But now that I think about it, I remember very, very vaguely because the internet was still, I mean, it wasn't in its infancy, but it wasn't for children. But I remember watching videos on sources that weren't YouTube, which is crazy to think about. Because right now, no matter what video you're looking up, you always go to YouTube first.
Yeah.
Even as much as people shit on it for having ads and stuff, which I do too. I can't stand YouTube. But at the same time, today, like when you said, oh, what happened at the end of the race? I got on YouTube. I didn't go to the ARCA official channel. I didn't go to NASCAR. I didn't go to Daytona. I went to YouTube. But I actually remember watching videos on things that weren't YouTube, like albino black sheep. You remember that?
No.
No one albino black sheep.
Albino black sheep.
Right.
Have you any wool? Nah, fam. I ain't got none.
Right. Albino what was on albino black sheep? The Numa Numa video was posted there originally.
Oh. Okay.
And
so it's like,
just
what websites were there? Because honestly, I feel stupid for not knowing, but I don't know the video websites that were.
Well, albino black sheep was one. See, it was different because it wasn't like video sharing like it is now. Like now, you make a YouTube account.
You probably just had to download it.
No, you didn't have to. No, they were still streaming videos, but it wasn't like you make a YouTube account and then you share your videos. It was like you go to albino black sheep. You didn't make accounts back then. You just go to albino black sheep and there were funny videos that the people who developed the website put on there. I don't know how they originally got to the internet.
And there used to be old like this is gonna sound crazy, but Adam Sandler used to have a website where he posted these weird like cartoons.
Yeah, they were always weird cartoons.
And it was before the movie 8 Crazy Nights, and it was what I think it's the reason that they made 8 Crazy Nights because he was making a bunch of cartoons like that.
But yeah, but there were
websites like that where people would post their own.
Or
videos.
like if I wanted to watch NASCAR highlights, I would go to NASCAR.com. But you didn't. It's not like today where you make an account and it suggests things based on what you. There were no making accounts. You just went and watched videos on whatever source. Or like if I wanted to watch concert footage, I would go to the White Stripes page or whatever it was. So it was different back then. And it's also crazy on kind of a slightly unrelated note. It's crazy how I'm only 2 years older than you, right?
Yeah.
Not even 2 full years. And yet, I remember that and you don't, because that much changed in that quick.
Yeah,
time,
honestly, because I have a terrible memory when it comes to things that I.
Well, not only that. I mean, in those 2 years, YouTube was born and became huge. By the time you were on the internet, like I was when I was little, it's just crazy.
That's true. Yeah. So speaking of NASCAR, you're starting a NASCAR podcast soon.
I am. I wanted to get it started earlier than it is now, which sucks because I should have done it last week. I kind of planned on going home this weekend and getting everything set up, but I couldn't go home this weekend. And then obviously next weekend I'm slammed.
Honestly, it's not a big deal because if you follow NASCAR, the season doesn't start till next week.
Yeah,
I wanted to have
a preseason one, but we might have our first show after Daytona because I wanted to have one.
You don't want to do an audio only tomorrow, or after the shootout.
After the shootout, I'll think about it.
You do one. Give it a test.
Or we could do a preseason one on, because I honestly think the best day for us to do them is going to be on Fridays.
Oh, you want to do them before the races?
See, I would rather do it the day after the race, but we might do the preseason one on Friday, and then, because, see, like I was thinking the Monday after the race would be perfect, but I'm not going to be home on Monday after the race.
But you could record them on Sunday after the race, like immediately after the race.
That could work. Or either Sunday after the race or like a Tuesday night after the penalties and everything have come down. But actually, Sunday after the race would be pretty cool. Like immediately after the race.
Yeah.
Like a post-race
show.
Because
you think about it. With races, they're only at 1-7, or they're on Saturday nights.
Yeah, no.
I mean, sometimes they're on Sunday nights, but I mean, what's
very rarely. There's 2 or 3 that are on Sunday nights because that's not a bad idea. It might turn into a post-race show. But yeah, I'm gonna do a NASCAR podcast because the main reason that I really wanted to start it is because I feel like a lot of NASCAR media now, and I'm a big NASCAR fan, but a lot of the media now is more about, I don't want to say it's the same stories rehashed over and over, because it's not necessarily, but you will never turn on Fox Sports 1 and see a story about David Reagan or Matt DiBenedetto. And obviously, we're going to focus on the big stories, like Carl Lower's retirement and stuff like that, but I want to genuinely go through every single driver in the field and say something about everyone. Because that's the thing is it's not like you watch a football game and there's 2 teams. If you watch a race, there's 40 drivers. So I want to touch on a little...
40 teams.
Right. I want to touch on a little bit of everyone. And it could be something as simple as he had a good... But I want it to be more expansive, to capture more drivers. Plus, I feel like I have a unique perspective being in... getting into the industry, the technical side of it, and stuff like that. So I think we'll have I think it's gonna be a good show. I've got some talking points that I'm excited about. Got some segments per se that I'm excited about.
Nice. Who's gonna be co-hosting it with you?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I have a recommendation. He hosts a show in somebody's basement. Not this one, of course. Yeah. He's had some work under his belt and knows a thing or two about turning left to going fast. So I think. Yeah, Cailey's in it.
You two are freaks.
Yeah.
Okay, it'll be Cailey then, I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna be Cailey.
I don't want to.
Yeah, but that'll be cool. Nice tease. I think it'll be fun, and honestly, it'll probably take off better than this podcast. This one's too broad. But,
well, it's it'll be easy to just post a link to it on Reddit, and as long as I say one or two things in the first episode that most people on NASCAR on Reddit agree with, we're set.
Oh,
I just gotta say
key?
on it. Yeah, I mean,
you gotta kiss ass for a second.
I am. I'm gonna kiss ass for
a quick second,
an episode or two, and then after that, it doesn't matter what you say because you could either be popular because you're kissing ass, or you can be popular because you're controversial.
Yeah.
But you gotta kiss some ass. So I'll say something like, I don't know, the first episode, something like, one of my favorites is the Daytona 500 pole conspiracy, which I guess. See, that's another reason I wanted to do the first episode after the Clash, like tonight, like after the Clash and before qualifying. So I was gonna be home this weekend. I'm gonna set up an actual set with all my memorabilia and stuff.
I should bring some of my shit up too.
I mean, you can, but I honestly have more than you think because I've been buying because obviously when we were younger, me, you, and Kale all collected stuff.
Yeah.
But
I think I stopped.
But once y'all stopped,
ago, yeah.
I didn't stop.
Yeah.
I didn't stop. Not only did I not stop, but I got like a job, so I wasn't buying it with allowance because obviously I got a job because I'm an adult now. But I didn't stop. I had a lot of stuff.
I'm an adult. I buy toy cars.
Kind of. But I mean, not just the cars. I actually that's the main difference is I have like posters and crew shirts and stuff like that.
Well, it should be cool. It should be a cool set. We'll check that out before the 500 here in a few days. The end of the last week or two of February. Yeah. The dog's gonna be there. He's gonna jingle all the way. I think that should be fun.
Actually, this dog won't be there.
He won't.
No, I'm gonna set it up in Lawrenceville.
Yeah. Well, I know that. I know. The dog will be there.
No, you won't.
No, he won't? Okay.
He's gonna die. Oh, I didn't mean that, Carter. That was too much.
It's okay, Carter.
Why is he gonna die?
He's not gonna die. He's gonna live forever.
Don't tell my dog he's gonna die. You're
Carter,
gonna die.
He looked at the door like,
Carter's
I'm
huge.
gonna die?
He's gonna look at the mic. Look, he's trying to get in on it.
Oh, he is. Carter, what do you have to say?
Do you have to say anything?
What type of dog is this, Cailey?
This is well, a mutt.
I can't believe you just asked that question. You just opened up a whole can of worms.
No, he's a boxer. He's either boxer
I
or
thought
mastiff.
it'd be an easy answer.
He's either boxer or mastiff,
either?
shepherd,
You don't know?
and Akita. He's
Wait, did you
definitely
say he's either? And then you named 5
Well, no, a boxer or a mastiff because they kind of, at least in my opinion, a mastiff is just like a giant boxer. So I think he's a mastiff, Akita, and shepherd kind of.
I think he has some boxer in him too.
He uses his hands for everything. He's about 110 pounds, but he doesn't look 110 pounds.
Oh, he looks 110
No,
pounds.
he looks 100
Does he?
pounds.
Yeah, he looks 110.
that
That's a big dog.
He's
yeah.
not the size of a
That dog would
mastiff.
kill
Like
me.
if anyone's listening and they know what a mastiff looks like, he's not as big as a mastiff. He's the same exact
But
color as mastiff.
He's
He
thicker
has
though.
fur like a shepherd, and he's got a curly tail like an Akita, and he's got black spots on his tongue.
And like a chow. He kind of
A chow. I meant chow, not an Akita.
Because he's kind of short
Yeah.
lengthwise.
Oh no, he's definitely got some kind of chow in him because he's got a curly tail, and chows have these black spots on their tongues, and he has those on his tongue.
We're talking about you, Carter. He knows.
He doesn't care.
I mean, don't get his attention because he might jingle
You're
all
right,
the way
he'll
back
jingle
into the podcast.
So we'll have to. What are you gonna put as the? Are you just gonna put the logo up for the background of this show?
This one? No,
You gonna
I'll
throw some
probably make
pictures
a
and
logo.
stuff?
I don't know. What are we talking about? I'll probably throw a dog.
world.
Probably
You
throw
could
a dog that's all different.
I actually have a
flesh.
fantastic slow-mo video of him eating some snow
Okay.
that you could put up there when we're talking.
So I
about.
could probably put that up there for like a whole hour of the show. Honestly,
Super
you know what?
slow.
If you do it, you'll probably, if you give it to me, I'll probably put it there for the duration of the show.
It's only like 3 seconds long.
I have one
I
that's
can
30
replay
seconds long.
I can just keep replaying it. I don't think you understand. However long the show is, I'll just replay it. Otherwise, it's just going to be a thumbnail picture of like, what do I like to do? I don't know.
But
Grab
you gotta-
photoshops of a bunch
You
of.
gotta plug our new show too, so I gotta make a logo for that.
I
and
think you
gotta
should
plug
just take
that.
a bunch of pictures with
Yeah.
googly eyes. Take everyone that's in the squad and just put weird.
Yeah, but that's
pictures of them.
work.
Googly eyes.
I'll do
You
that.
understand.
Or just text Jeremy and be like, hey, put googly eyes on everyone in the squad, and you'll have it in 20 minutes.
Okay.
In between each picture, just the video of Carter.
Do you know
in
that
slow
Jeremy-
motion.
This is a relevant story since he's on the show. Jeremy called out of work today after almost getting fired last week for calling it. Okay, did you guys talk about Jeremy calling out twice in the same?
No, we didn't talk about the Super Bowl. You could.
Okay, so it's kind of tough for me to say because I'm not either of the people that were involved. But Jeremy,
It's the goofiest story.
Jeremy was like wanted to watch the Super Bowl. So he's like, I'm gonna call out of work because he had to work during the Super Bowl. So the night before, he's
Huge
leaving.
football fan.
Yeah, no kidding. the night before he's leaving work, and he's like, hey, I'm not coming in tomorrow. And the guy's like, all right. So the next day, the guy was like, make sure you call tomorrow. So he called out of work. He was like, hey,
he talked to the same guy.
Yeah, he talked to the same guy. He's like, I'm sick, so I'm not coming in. So he's like, okay. So then Stuart, who was at work and who was going to be home before the Super Bowl, he and everyone there, obviously they knew Jeremy wasn't really sick and he was calling out for the Super Bowl. They texted Jeremy and said that he had to cover, that Stuart had to cover for Jeremy to make Jeremy, just as a joke.
Yeah.
But the main thing is they got a manager in on it who texted Jeremy and was like, Stuart's going to have to cover for you and blah, blah, blah. So then Jeremy felt really bad and called them again and said that he would come in so that Stuart doesn't have to work. So then Jeremy ended up getting lumped into working anyway, his original shift. Then Stuart was like, oh crap, I was kidding. You don't actually have to do that, or I'm not actually going to have to cover. So Jeremy called out again. So he called out twice in the same day. And then they were saying, he's not even trying. Like, obviously it was a fake situation to begin with, and now it's just him calling saying I'm not coming to work because of the Super Bowl. So they said they were going to fire him. Stuart heard them talking about firing him. So then he went into work anyway. So he called out twice in the same day, and then still went to work, because he's an idiot. He's I can't believe he still. Oh, he probably still works there because no one else is willing to work 8 to 1. 5 days a week. 8 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Because when he had his teeth removed, his wisdom teeth removed, they just closed.
Yeah,
they just closed the supermarket like 4 hours early.
Yeah, because no one wants to work 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. except for Jeremy. But anyway, he called out of work today because he just decided he didn't want to go to work, and he was going to go to Athens with Mitchell. So he went to pick up Mitchell to go to Athens. And when he got there, Mitchell was just like, nah, I don't want to.
Oh my god.
So then Jeremy called me and said, this was
really?
at like 6:30. Yeah, Jeremy called me and was like, hey, because that's how he starts every conversation. Hey. And in a long silence, and you're like, what? What do you want? And he said, can I come watch the race with you and Matthew? And I was like, well, Matthew's not going to be here for a little while. And the race is probably going to get delayed anyway. And he's like, well, Mitchell doesn't want to do anything, and I already called out of work, and I can't go home because I told my parents that, or I didn't tell my parents that I'm calling out. Which, that means that this is a 21-year-old person. Who not only
struggling to keep a minimum wage job.
Right, and not only did he call out of work for no reason, just because he didn't feel like going. I don't know. He's 21, but he also couldn't tell his parents that he called out of work, which I guess I understand because it was for no reason. But come on, at that age,
he also has Latino parents, and they will kick his ass.
He has one Latino parent. His dad's white.
Okay, well, he's a Latino parent who will kick his ass.
You're right. But anyway, so then he was like, "So can I come hang out with you?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm like, I hadn't even like showered or anything at this point. I was like, I didn't want to just be like, no." But I was basically like, yeah, no, don't come and hang out with me. We're just going to chill, watch the race, and then, Matthew's going to stay because he's got to be here tomorrow. So I don't know what he ended up doing, but... I think... They went to a bar because Mitchell Snapchatted us from the bar.
Yeah, I think Mitchell and Jeremy went to a bar. He probably just kept driving in front of Mitchell's house until Mitchell was like...
Actually, what happened is I don't know if you... I mean, I know you've met Michael Shivabond, but I don't know if you know how strange his existence is at this point.
No.
But basically, he's, like, disappeared.
Yeah, and so this kid disappeared.
No, yeah, and, like, every single time I bring him up, I say, one of those, like, half-joking, half-serious things that he could be dead, and we would have no idea. So, anyway, Jeremy's like, well, what should I do? You know how Jeremy is. He's trying to guilt me so he could come up here. He was like, well, what am I going to do, as if I'm supposed to tell him what to do with this life? And I was like, I don't know. And I said, go hang out with Mitchell. He's like, Mitchell doesn't want to. So I said, go find Sheaves. And Jeremy's like, I'm not a private eye. I can't just find Sheaves.
You can't just find.
And I was like, it's honestly going to be a long enough project that you could do that for the rest until 1 a.m. Is try to find Sheaves. That's what you should do tonight. And then eventually he convinced Mitchell to go drive to Sheaves' old house and see if his car was there. And that's the last time I heard from him. So.
So they probably got killed by Sheaves.
No, they probably went to the house. Sheaves wasn't there, and then Jeremy was able to convince. Hang on, not to interrupt myself, but are you watching what's going on TV right now?
Yeah.
This is a NASCAR broadcast, and I've seen, like, helicopter crashes and a building burning down.
This is like a commercial for, like, Vietnam.
No, it's talking about the 1979 Daytona 500, but it's talking about the things that were going on in 1979.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's about NASCAR, but Okay, there was like a bunch of war stuff.
But like it got political
Vietnam,
for a bit.
It got really political.
But anyway,
Yeah,
they said that they were going to go at least drive to his house, and then Mitchell Snapchat us from a bar. So I guess that means that Jeremy convinced Mitchell to at least go to a bar. Go to a bar.
Goofball. I hate when sports get really political because I feel like it's just breaking the illusion of it being fake, and then it tries to ground itself in too many real stories and part of life. I think of sports as escapism. Just let me watch two people run into each other, or two cars run into each other, or three people run into each other.
I 100% agree, and I'm very, very glad that for the most part, NASCAR is, in my opinion, one of the best about not getting the drivers involved with their personal opinions and a lot of things like that. Because like in football and in every sport, there's always you always know a lot about. There's always a few guys that are like big mouths that their opinions on everything, and they tweet things like that. That doesn't really happen in NASCAR. The only thing that I can think of is there was a Trump car at Talladega last year, but I mean, come on, it's NASCAR.
There was?
Yeah, but come on, it's NASCAR. But anyway,
truck.
Yeah, and the car. There was a cup car. But that's not even the driver as much as the owner. But in this broadcast's defense, this is talking about the 1979 Daytona 500, which put NASCAR on the map because of
the big fight.
The big fight. It was the first nationally broadcasted
event
from start to finish because, and it was watched way more than they were expecting because there was a snowstorm on the East Coast and no one could leave their houses.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a big old snowstorm on the East Coast. No one could leave their houses. So a lot of people, for the first time ever, watched NASCAR. And what happened was, for those who don't know, there was a wreck on the...
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, listen.
Yeah, listen up.
For those who don't know, listen.
Is the biggest
Not
race
for those who don't know, say they don't know.
Is the Daytona 500, so it's arguably the biggest race in the world. The only thing that's even comes close is the Indy 500, in my opinion. But anyway, it was the last lap. Two guys wrecked together, battling for the lead. A third guy, Richard Petty, ended up going on to win, and these two guys that wrecked each other got into a big old fight. And it's the first ever broadcast NASCAR race from flag to flag. And all the executives in NASCAR were worried, and they were like, oh crap, we just blew our only chance because on our first ever broadcast there was a fight.
It was a mess.
And it turned out to be super duper popular because people were like, wow, like it was a great race. It was a great finish.
Can you imagine being in the 70s that you just seeing that on live television?
Yeah, or having never watched any racing before, because this is obviously the only racing in America at the time. Not the only racing, but the most popular racing in America at the time. And to watch this crazy finish, watch these two guys fight in the mud. I mean, it was a huge, huge deal for them. But it also had to do with the time. So in the broadcast defense, the political stuff is somewhat relevant to this.
Oh, that's great. I honestly, thanks for bringing it back, because I didn't realize why I even brought that up.
Yeah, I didn't think about it until I looked up and I saw. I was like, why are we watching TV on a TV? And then I remembered.
Yeah, it's political stuff.
But I do hate when politics mix with sports.
Oh, you're talking about the dog? Yeah, the dog's crazy.
He jingles.
Did you guys hear about the reboot or remake of the Lion King movie? Yeah.
Oh, we were literally just talking about that today. James Earl Jones is going to be Mufasa, and Donald Glover is going to be Simba.
Yeah, James Earl Jones again. Yeah, as Mufasa. That's a role that gets better with age.
I don't know. This is just a me thing, but like, I wish instead of continuing with this live action thing, I wish they would produce some of the musical versions of their things. I wish they would produce a movie of the Lion King musical, because it had more music in it. It was, live action, and it had all this cool stuff to it. It would be really cool. Like, have you seen Shrek the Musical? I'm also into musicals, but like, Shrek the Musical is actually kind of funny. It's kind of, they make digs at other Broadway plays, and it's got adult humor in it. It's funny. It was funny. It was kind of meant for parents to go and bring their kids, and at the same time chuckle to themselves because the kids don't know what's going on. And I wish that for a lot of these, like, instead of doing the Mary Poppins musical, I didn't really think was all that great, but like, I wish instead of doing Beauty and the Beast live action, they would do the Beauty and the Beast musical instead of doing the Lion King live action.
Are you saying do a remake of the musical instead of doing a remake of the original movie?
I just wish they would put the musicals
in the form of film.
Yeah, to film.
Okay.
Because
I would say in a world
it wouldn't sell.
pre-December 2016, it wouldn't sell. But after the end of 2016, when La La Land came out,
The GOAT,
and that movie made so much money, was critically and fans successful all around the world. Yeah. I could say that could be a possibility.
Right.
But I think with like the Jungle Book only had a couple of songs in it.
But it was
really good. It was really good.
And I will say that.
And I think with the Lion King, there won't be as many as there were in the original Lion King movie, and there definitely won't be as much as in the musical. But I think it'll be enough that it'll still be fun.
But how do you have a Lion King movie and not have Hakuna Matata in there? You know,
they're gonna hunt it or something. It's gonna be something stupid like that. But it's gonna be like in the Jungle Book.
But they're probably not gonna have like I Just Can't Wait to Be King or something. Because I feel like
classic too.
Yeah, but in the Jungle Book, they didn't even sing the whole version of
they didn't sing Bare Necessities at all. Yeah.
They didn't finish Bare Necessities, and they also didn't finish.
They sung it for a little bit.
Yeah, but it was only like one verse or something, and then I Want to Be Like You. Which is the other iconic
They did the full version of it.
Did they do the full version?
They actually did an extended version. There was a verse in there that wasn't in the original.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they did that.
But of course, it was Christopher Walken talking.
And he made that joke though. That was the one that won me over. What did he say? He said,
"Ooh, bad dude, I want to be like you."
No. He made a joke
That's a
about.
good joke.
No, Christopher Walken made a joke about like a dig at himself in the movie. He said something about maybe cowbell or something like that.
Oh yeah.
He said.
Yeah, there was like a cowbell thing. Was there?
Oh, he was holding a cowbell, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
Why would he have a
cowbell
in the jungle?
India, yeah.
I don't freaking know.
Yeah, it was a cowbell. They were playing the cowbell song. Ooh, bad dude, I want to sound like more cowbells.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. No, but I think the Jungle Book. I think it's a well adaptation of the original one. I think making The Lion King is a no-brainer.
Matthew, you might be the first person in history to.
I do look forward to the Beauty and the Beast live action.
A lot of people mix up good and well. Most people use good when they should use well. You just used well when you should use good. What
did I do? It was a well adaptation.
You said it was a well adaptation. Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Well, I think it is because I think you were gonna say well.
I think I was gonna say a well done adaptation. Yeah.
But
yeah, that is true.
Like
I do mess that up. I never say, like, I never mistake good for well, right?
Yeah. That's what most people do is like.
But
you did good today. No, you did well today.
Yeah.
He works at the writing center.
Yeah, but I never mess that up though. I always mess it up the other way.
That's weird.
I always say well when I should just say good. Yeah.
So here's a question.
Yes.
So like the Jungle Book.
Yep, the yawning book.
The Jungle Book that came out last year.
Yes.
That's considered live action, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though it's CGI.
Even though it's
all CGI except for the boy.
But here's the thing. So obviously, basically what I want to start another conversation here as when does live action become animated? Because something like the Avengers, without thinking about it, if you ask anyone, they'd be like, "Yeah, it's a live action movie." But a lot of that is CGI.
It has real actors in it.
Right, but a lot of that is real actors on
live action.
On
wire.
Let me tell you.
Live.
But here's the thing: is this new Lion King going to be considered live action? Because there are no humans in the Lion King.
That's what I'm thinking.
So the whole thing is going to be generated.
I'm thinking they're still going to call it live action because of the process of filming it. I don't think it's live action by human nature. I think it's live action by the process of the filmmaking.
Also, what would be really cool, I don't know how they're going to film it.
So they could build sets, and then they could have a real person holding a real camera and shooting those green screen sets, and then building things on top of them. Or have people in motion capture suits, which is what they'll probably do. But still, I think that's animation.
Was Avatar
We're getting closer.
live action?
That's live action. But there is live action in the movie because they go to.
But I mean, I wonder if they'll use people and real things to create CGI characters.
But you can't do that because it's Avatar. Even the blue people were sapient, you know?
Well, no, I'm wondering if they'll do it like they do it in the musical, where they're holding big objects and stuff to I wonder if they'll have people to do the mock-up of, like, the lions. Like, if there'll be an actual person behind that lion, we'll be seeing the person moving.
Yeah, I think some of the stuff that they'll do in The Lion King will require motion capture. Because in the Jungle Book, they used a bit of motion capture.
They even used motion capture for Baloo, didn't they? Even though he was a bear.
Yeah, I don't know who did it for that, but it wasn't Bill Murray.
But that's because bears walk kind of humanistically.
Yeah.
But and
what
not
they
to
might
get too
do for
scientific
Timon,
with
think
it.
if they do Timon in the
and not
movie,
just Timon. What's the
human.
monkey's
He
the
walks like a
baboon?
human. Rafiki.
Rafiki.
Yeah,
Okay,
but Rafiki could straight up.
But by that logic,
faces?
by that logic, every time I play a game of NCAA, that's not live action, but every single character in that game was motion capture done by humans.
See, it's
so
tough.
the Lion King
is getting it's getting on a line where the Academy or whoever decides is
also the animals.
It's on a fine line. It's very strange. And they are animals. I'd be interested to see what they categorize the movie as. I feel like they're going to call it live action because it's supposed to be real. And just for audience's sake, they're like, oh, the live action Lion King.
Right, but it's live action.
It's not live
I
action.
mean, the animals
in
Jungle Book looked damn good.
I mean,
right, but see, there was a person.
Animation.
A real person was the main character in that movie, and
Yeah.
this goes all the way back to the '90s with like Space Jam and stuff. There were real people there and cartoons, but there's real people and real sets. But once you get to the point where now there will be zero real people, is that still live action? And to me, using this comparison, it would be like, was Toy Story live action?
I don't think it'll all be CGI though. That's what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure it will be. They're not going to have a real line at any point.
There were in Jungle Book. There were points where the animals were not CGI. They were just real.
They didn't have any real animals in the movie.
Yeah, there were no real animals in the movie.
There were no real animals in the movie.
Never mind.
And there won't be any real animals in the Lion King.
Yeah, no, they won't do that for the Lion King.
And it's not like
to my
will the
knowledge,
setting
they
be
didn't
real,
do.
or are they gonna literally CGI everything? Will they be?
Well, no, they built the set
on a real. Is it gonna be a set?
Well, here's how they did the Jungle Book. The Jungle Book, they had the kid.
Yeah.
They would build sets, like if he had to climb stuff, they'd build those sets and they'd have fake grass and fake stuff, but it wouldn't be to the detail of most sets. It would be like some grass, some branch, maybe 1-2 branches that he'd climb on, move on, maybe something to help the actor or something. But then the rest of it, so like 95% of it is green screen, so it's CG.
So then they go back and add that, but
for the Lion King, it's weird how they do it because they could still build a set. It wouldn't make any sense to have, unless they had motion capture people move around. But you could have motion capture people play lions and stuff.
But even if you did,
you could have humans play lions.
That's
if you had motion capture people playing lions,
I think they might do that.
They wouldn't do that on a set though. You wouldn't build a set because going back to the video game example, when you watch the motion capture for football or for like the pit crew guys in NASCAR,
it's just like in a black square.
Right, because you don't. Because the only advantage to building a set to some degree for Mowgli was because he was a person that was actually on film. So some of that stuff around him, some of the real things, would be picked up. So for instance, like they would build some fake grass because it's really, really hard to animate grass. Exactly, but he would mash up some certain grass, so those things were real. But when you get to the fact that none of the characters will be real things, there's no reason for there to be any real set. And at that point, to me anyway, that's an animated movie. If there's 0% real.
I don't know what they'll do because they can make fake, like, what would define it? Like if there was a scene in The Lion King where all the animals come and drink water, but they filmed the water. Like if in their set they just filled up a tub of water and they filmed it, so then they can have like people poking into it so it has the right ripples and stuff, so it looks even more real than animated. Like, is that still an animated movie? Cailey, have you seen the Lego movie?
The original one or the Batman?
Yeah, the original, the 2014 one. At the end of the movie, Will Ferrell shows up in human form.
Whoa, spoilers.
Yeah, I know you haven't seen the movie. Too bad. At the end of the movie, there's a live action bit where the kid. The whole story is about the kid playing with the toys.
Right.
And he's playing with his dad's old Lego figures. And then
he's playing with his dad's.
Well, current Lego figures. And he shows up. That movie wasn't nominated for Best Animated Feature.
But
it was a small conversation.
It wasn't animated. That was real Legos.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't real.
Yes,
Legos.
it was. Look
No,
it up right
it
now.
wasn't. Hold on, no, it wasn't. They used real Legos to
3D model them. They scanned them in.
Yeah, so they were real Legos, but they didn't. It was not stop motion.
Yeah, they scanned.
They used real Legos.
So that's not live
every
motion
little
either,
crack in them and everything.
Because then by that theory, Kubo and the Two Strings is a live action movie.
No, because if you go back to like the old Rudolph and the claymation movies.
Yeah.
Well, that's considered claymation. That's something different altogether.
Yeah, the
That
reason
has a
okay,
name.
Yeah,
the
but
reason I was
Legos
gonna say
Legos
that's
are
not live
essentially just
action.
molded clay. Just
But the
I'm
reason
saying maybe they'll
toys.
come up with a new name for this kind of movie.
Yeah, honestly, there's gonna be a lot of motion capture movies every year, but yeah, Andy
They could call it
Serkis,
motion
Andy
capture?
Serkis, the dude who plays all the monkeys in all the movies, the motion capture guy, you know, the Lord of the Rings guy. He played King Kong. He played Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies. He directed a version of The Jungle Book that'll probably never be released because how successful the Disney version was.
Uh-huh.
And since the book is pretty much public domain, he could just make the fucking movie.
Yeah.
And nobody stopped him. So he made a movie with all the characters motion capture. So like somebody actually played a snake and they slithered around. Somebody played a monkey and they swung around. Somebody played a lion and they jumped around.
What movie is this?
The Jungle Book that never came out. It hasn't come out yet. It was like a $200 million movie that will probably never be released.
How's he gonna make that money back?
Well, he's not. If they ever, I mean, it's can't. So the movie's done, but they can't find a spot to release it because they were going to release it last year, but the Jungle Book came out that year, and then that movie made so much money it would have been too confusing to have another Jungle Book movie that wasn't even connected to it.
Yeah.
Then they moved it to next year or whatever, 2019 or something, and then the Jungle Book 2 is going to be there. So it's like they're always going to be trying to step on the heels of each other.
They're making a Jungle Book too.
Yeah.
Is it the same story as the sequel from the cartoon?
No. I hope not. I guess I hope not.
I don't even remember the story from this.
I
Jungle
do.
Book.
It was like, what
He
was it
went
about?
back to the town at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
The second movie is about he has these little
Him
friends
being
and
in the
stuff,
town?
and this little girl that he likes, and he brings them out. I don't remember.
No,
what
he runs
brings
away.
them out.
He runs away to the jungle. They have to go find him.
Oh, is that what it is?
What was
I
the
think
one?
so.
What was the one where Baloo flies?
Oh, because
a plane?
he's not fitting into the town.
Baloo flies a plane.
Yeah.
What are you talking?
Was that the TV show?
There was a TV
There's
show.
a TV show. I
Looking
remember
it
when the Jungle Book 2 came out, McDonald's did like
Toys.
toys. They were really cool too. They were like
Holy.
they were these little pieces that you put together, and they came with a little figurine that could walk around the piece that you built. They were like you know those little mats that you can put together on the floor? They connect
Yeah.
like foam.
Yeah.
Look at puzzle pieces. That's what they were, but they were like squares, and they would have little puzzle pieces. You could
Oh,
build a
and then
little
it would,
building.
yeah, and it would follow the mag strip or whatever. And walk
Tailspin.
around it.
Tailspin.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
The TV series, animated TV series, Tailspin.
It was called Tailspin.
Yeah, it was about Baloo. He was like a pilot.
Now that you say that, it sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But he was like a pilot, like regularly. Like
Yeah,
that
like,
was the whole point of the show.
I
How did
guess.
someone pitch that? How did someone sit in a boardroom and be like, all right, you know the Jungle Book? Yeah, the one
You
about the
remember that
animals in the
Jungle
jungle. Yeah, let's make the bear a pilot.
Like Snoopy.
That's a little bit different.
Yeah, like all the characters were there. Like
Mo-
like you know, Ubed
Yeah, see,
Duo
like
want to
every-
be like you. Ooh, yeah, he was the tourist, like flying in the plane.
So like everyone was snowed in.
This is the
That's
70s.
crazy.
Oh,
79, yeah.
yeah.
So that's why everyone stayed at home watched the Days 25 minutes.
Great, and that's how we did it.
I like those old taxis.
Oh, I think we did an
Checker
episode.
Cab. You know the Checker Company only ever made one car in their history. It was the Checker Cab, and they made it for 50 years. So
They
like,
got so rich they never had to make another car.
no, they went out of business
Ooh.
That's sad.
because people started
Fantastic
buying
story.
Crown Vics and Priuses and Impalas for their cabs.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Checker Cab Company. I mean, they were an offshoot of GM, I think. So obviously they it's not like they completely went out of business. But no, like a 2003 Checker Cab looks exactly the same way it did in like 1979.
Also, I don't know, but I wonder if taxis were ever run by the city. Like if all the taxis were ever public transportation, like buses and stuff like that. Or I wonder if they were always privatized.
Well, I think it was run by the city, and that's how Checker got the contract, or that's why Checker
Because
exists.
now it is not run by the city, so I wonder if
I think
the
Checker-
moment that it stopped being privatized,
Well, like New York City taxis? Like
Yeah.
those?
because those aren't run by the city anymore. I feel like at one point they were.
Yeah,
Now
they
you
were.
just have to get your license through the city and everything.
Yeah.
But you can have a company now. And if this happened, it was a long time ago. Because I know all my life, at least, you know, you could start a taxi company if you had all the right crap. Now you could just sign up for Uber.
Yeah.
Taxis are gonna die. they're not even yellow anymore.
Yeah, but does anybody really care?
I do.
What, you'd rather ride in a taxi?
No, it's just the color of like New York City. Like, okay, so you know.
Yellow?
No, you know Pierre Mondrian.
You can look at pee on the streets.
He's like a painter, and he does these paintings that are black lines. It's black, yellow, blue, red, and white.
Yeah.
And they're boxes of all different sizes.
Okay.
He has a painting called, I think it's called New York City, and he painted it looking down from like his penthouse or something, and it's just a mix of red, blue, white, and the yellow taxi cabs. And that's like the image of New York.
Now we can replace it with a bunch of purple mustaches and call it Lyft.
Like when I think of New York City, I do think of the yellow cabs, but I mean, yeah, of course they're going out of business, because why would you get in a cab when you could get in someone's actual car?
Yeah.
Cabs are, I don't know, you just meet an interesting person,
the cabs
always,
the cabs always screw you over,
yeah,
too.
but Uber's not the same anymore. The old cabs didn't have GPS. You just got in, you said, you could be a complete tourist, not know where the fuck you're going.
Take me to 13th Street, sir. 2 hours later, that'll be $500. Because he went to 7 different
and of course
locations.
the old cabs didn't have GPS, but it's 2017, so everyone has GPS.
I know. Look,
yeah, so you're not screwing anybody.
You don't get it.
No, there's no advantage to cabs.
It's all nostalgic. It's just...
Right, it's 100% sentimental, 0% functional.
That might be the most hipster thing you ever seen.
No, and taxi cabs used to know where they were going. It wasn't like $500 to go 2 hours. No, they knew exactly where they were going. They knew how to avoid the traffic because they lived in the city. All this crap.
Yeah, I mean, my grandfather was, on my dad's side of the family, when he came from Poland, he learned the city of New York and he became a taxi driver.
But now, if you're in New York and you get in a taxi and you give him an address, he'll punch it into a GPS. If you get in an Uber and you give him an address, he'll punch it into a GPS. And the only difference is, if you get in a taxi, there's some vomit from the last person who got off their plane.
That's not true. Taxis are clean.
Not as clean as someone's legit car.
I disagree. Taxis have to be kept clean. Uber car does not have to be kept clean.
You say taxis have to be kept clean. I've been in a taxi one time my entire life, and it was the most... I would rather ride a public bus than that taxi again.
Okay, let's calm down.
Well, the only public bus, MARTA, which is pretty bad. But
yeah, MARTA's pretty bad. Yeah. Well,
Atlanta's got to have the worst public transportation on the planet, though.
Yeah, but
it's not the worst. It's just that it's way too big of a city for the system that they have.
But it's also not that crazy. Like, it ain't that deep. Just drive. If you have a car, just drive. If you don't, just take MARTA. It ain't that deep.
Well, the thing about driving is it's hard to park anywhere.
No dog.
It's expensive.
Stop it, dog.
Carter!
I got a lot riding on this podcast.
Carter, what are you... Oh, he's about to take up the mic. You're good.
I think we've met our limit, guys. My computer's at like 18%.
And Carter's about to take out the mic.
Yeah, the dog's freaking out.
Carter!
Well, let's see if we can do it. Alright, well...
Crate! Go to your crate! God, you're a dumbass. Crate! Alright,
So you say crate, and there's not even a crate here?
Well, no. Okay, when he was little, he had a crate, and he was crate trained, so we would just leave the door open all day, and it made him feel comfortable and stuff. So, like, even if he was freaking out, you could say crate, and he would go and calm down in his crate. So now, you say crate, he goes into a corner.
And he gets flashbacks to it.
No, he just goes into a corner and calms down.
It's like going to my uncle from Vietnam and saying, trenches, trenches, trenches!
No.
And he's like, he starts peeing his pants.
No, look at him right now. Does that look like a dog?
He looks like he's seen some shit.
No,
he looks like he's seen some shit right now.
He has human eyes.
He is deathly afraid. He is crying on the inside.
Man, you made me laugh really hard 3 times the last 2 days.
That's good. Good thing I buttered your nuts.
That one, and then whatever you said to Cailey. Oh, when you said, does this story end with you finishing your grits?
Oh my god.
I
really just wanted to leave Waffle House that time.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't
like that well, anyway.
That
was the same.
That was... No, I was going to say, they're actually not the only bad experience I've ever had at Waffle House is when we went to that one by the school, and I ordered hash browns on the way. They didn't put chili or gravy on it, but whatever.
But that lady was so nice.
Yeah, she messed up my order. I don't care how nice you are if you don't give me the right food.
Yeah, I mean, she gave you food.
But yeah, that woman that waited on us tonight was kind of a cunt.
Hey.
Whoa. I mean, she gave me my food in like a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with her. Yeah, the cook was phenomenal. I mean, now when I say the
What
best hash
was the woman
browns.
doing wrong? She didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah,
But she didn't do anything
well,
right.
Well, here's the thing. If you sit in that one spot at Waffle House, it's so weird because they're on like another side of a wall, so they're like reaching over a wall to try to hand you shit.
Yeah, that's how it is.
I
At
think
every
she
Waffle
was
House.
like
That's what I'm
pissed
saying.
off that we.
Well, not unless you sit in like a regular area where they're not on that side, where they have to walk out of it.
What do you mean? Are there any tables at the Waffle House that aren't next to the counter?
Yeah, like by the window sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Mister, I know the menu by heart. I'm a.
Yeah, come on.
Bro,
you
every
need
time I go to Waffle House, I'm
Waffle
either
House
too
master.
drunk to remember, or I
You're telling
sit
me
right
you
next to
don't
the counter.
memorize the layout to every Waffle House you go into?
And they really do all of the same.
They're all the same.
All right. Well, my computer's about to die, and I think I'm getting tired. Cailey, got anything left? Just say goodbye.
Bye.
Just say bye.
Bye.
Bye, Britt. Thanks for letting me stay here.
You're welcome, considering this is my house, not Britt's house.
I think I like the ongoing thing that it's Britt's house.
Well, it is my house.
Thank you, Britt.
So.
for
This
letting
is,
me
I
say
mean,
goodbye.
of course it's ongoing.
Cailey, thanks for
I'm
coming to Britt's
ongoing
house.
paying rent.
I
So.
think you guys are dicks.
You know, Cailey, I actually pay more in rent than you do every month. So.
All right. Well,
Paid 18
next time we'll have a better one. It's probably gonna be video. I'm probably gonna be more enthusiastic.
And hopefully by the next Rocco's Basement, you'll be promoting an actual Smoke and Flames podcast.
What?
So.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
happening. That's happening.
Bye.
Well, see you guys.
Uh,
Thanks.
Bye.
Come back soon. Well, come to my basement. I'll open the door for you when I get there.
Good night.
Okay, bye.
Bye.